what is up everyone, it is me, BaRKy, and I'm here with another mod for Rimworld 1.4, and this is the Astra Militarum Regimentum Cadia. And if it isn't obvious from the immediate look, it is in fact based on Warhammer 40k. I mean, based on it is literally Warhammer 40k. Look how cool it looks. I just want to gush for 2 seconds at the visual effects of the mod. I mean, just look at that. It just looks so high detailed, especially when you take the charge rifle from vanilla, compare it to the armor, especially when you zoom into the max. Anyways, what this mod does is it's mainly a content mod, so it adds in quite a few different sets of armor. There's 4 in total actually. So these guys over here are wearing the Kaz Skin. Let me get that right. Kaz Skin, I think I'm saying that correctly, but if someone in the comments could correct me, that would be fantastic. But the Kaz Skin flak armor, and then the helmet, which is the most distinctive part, is the Cadian helmet. So I don't know how obvious that is. I'm not the biggest Warhammer lore buff. I love the universe, Warhammer 40k, but I don't know much about the lore. I've seen a few videos on Cadia though. I feel really bad for anyone who actually fought there. Not the nicest place to take your family on a holiday to. But yeah, so it adds in another couple sets of armor. So if I go ahead and put down the machining table over here, and then we want to put down the tailoring bench, we can come and take a look. Let me let them free so they can go eat. Yeah, if I go ahead and add a build once I've done the research, I'm lazy. We have the Cadian flak armor, the Kaz Skin flak armor, the Opposite Gorget, the Cadian helmet, and the Kaz Skin helmet. I'll go through all of them in a second, but there are a few other things that this adds in. So if we go over here, we have the Cadian field cap, the Cadian crusher cap, and the Cadian fatigues. Once they're done eating, I can bring them out. So if I go ahead and spawn in a few of these pieces of armor, once we have them here, I can go ahead and bring some guardsmen just to sort of put them on so you can compare them. They do have some uses. Pick them up. Do have some uses. The different armors do different things better than others. So if we take a look at the Kaz Skin, let's get them in the light so you can take a look at them properly. I'm not going to gush too much, but yes, it is incredible. Whoever did the artwork, kudos to you because it looks amazing. But this is the Kaz Skin set, and what it does is it gives you 100% resistance to toxicity. So since we're on a polluted planet like this, it would be pretty common for a toxic buildup to start happening, as it has on this guardsman. This negates that completely, so they can walk around without having to worry about any of those things. The Cadian one is a different story though, so let's go ahead and open it up. The Cadian helmet focuses primarily on protection. I don't know how accurate that is in terms of the lore, but that is essentially what it is. It is incredibly strong armor. So let's take a look here. So it's a ridiculous amount of armor actually, which is kind of weird because guardsmen are quite indisposable, if I remember correctly. I do remember them in Dawn of War, and dude, they were so cheap in that game. But then there's the Cadian flak armor. Once again, incredibly powerful. Also, it gives you quite a few extra bonuses, which is pretty nice. The movement speed goes down a bit, but that is typical of armor. Then you get the Opposite Gorget, which is what the captains wear, which gives you a big boost to your social impact. Awesome. So captain, commander, whatever it is. Bring him out over here. I did want to give him a sword, but for the cinematic, he just had to have a gun. Just imagine he's using a plasma rifle. Which brings me to the saddest part of the mod. It doesn't add in las guns, or laser guns, which sucks. So it's just a content mod in that regard, just for clothing. It is combat extended compatible, so I've heard. So you can feast your heart out on that. Just have some disposable pawns. Yeah, so let's take a look at the non-armor stuff for a second then. So we have the Cadian field cap first. This is a very cheap set of armor that you can make. Pretty decent for what you get out of it. Only takes 30 fabric, which is nothing. The crusher cap is the next one up, and that's 50% social value. 40 fabric, 5 plain leather. No idea why that in particular, but I don't know. And then finally you have the fatigues, which covers everything. So you would wear this on the first layer of a pawn, and it covers essentially everything, and it's fairly good at that too. I wouldn't call this mod broken because the armor is actually fairly expensive to make. So the Cadian helmet is not too bad, but then you get to the actual flak armor, which takes hyperweave, so you're not going to get it too easily. It just depends on your playstyle, I suppose, but hyperweave is generally quite hard to come by. I will get tons of people comparing this mod to the Warhammer mod, and I usually do have quite a few who ask me to take a look at it, especially when I talk about Warhammer in any of my streams. The reason why I chose to do this one now is just because I really enjoyed the art style a lot more than in the actual Warhammer mod. Especially Space Marines. I know there aren't any Space Marines in this mod, but I just cannot stand how Space Marines look in the Warhammer mod series that is made. They just remind me of Space Marines from the Flash Kids video of Space Marines versus furries. They just look too animated, too, I don't know, it's just something really off about them. This one looks proper to lore, which is why I love it, because if I can compare this to, say, Dawn of War or something, you know, where they're rendered out, or Space Marine, this looks pretty accurate to me. It looks awesome. In terms of balance, I usually do get asked about it in these types of mods. I don't really have much of a say on it. I do think it's kind of strong for the price that you're paying for it, especially the helmets. There needs to be some balance between the helmet and the armor, I'd say, because the helmet is really good, 70% resistance for fairly cheap materials. But as for the rest of it, it's cheap armor. It's not quite as powerful as marine armor in some circumstances, depending on what material you use. But balance is, I think it's fairly well balanced in that regard. But yeah, if you want to use it, go for it. Is it lore accurate? I think so. Guardsmen should be pretty tough compared to what you see on the rim. They just look really weak compared to the stuff that they're fighting in 40k because it's 40k. At least that's how I think about it. So yeah, but your mileage may vary. I will cut the video there, however. Thank you very much for watching. I do genuinely appreciate it. I've been feeling the love lately, so yeah, just a huge thank you to everyone who watches, especially up until this point, and likes the video, etc, etc. If you're just watching though, kudos to you, man. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Go give the mod maker some love. Hey, thank you very much for making it to the end of the video. It's really, really awesome of you. I've got a Discord server that's free for all to join if you'd like to come and have a chat with me or anyone else. And I've also opened up a Patreon page to help fund my videos. So if any of those interest you, please go ahead and take a look at the description. Have a great day, and thank you very much for watching.